Hey, I'm live. I'm doing live things. Let me just find the link so I can share them with everybody. I'm doing live things. So let's see here. Command C first. I will build it already. Let me just pop out the chat. And close that. And close that. That can close down. I don't need this giant video screen of me. That's just silly. I think I'm back. Sorry about that. I was switching from Wi-Fi to Ethernet. So that way that doesn't happen, but it did. So new tab again. And YouTube, my broadcast, and Bueller. Yeah, I don't think I was supposed to push it either. So let me pop the chat out. Pop out chat. There we go. Now I have a chat I can look at and hit the plus key so the text is all big and readables. I have the wide angle lens so we can see what I'm doing. This is good. And let us copy this link and share that link with the world. So Windows and there we go. Copy, refresh. All right, I'm gonna go share this link with the world. So hopping onto Facebook. And Alt. And Prusa Community Facebook page. And building Bondtech stuff. Post. Hush that. Go on to Twitter. We are building all right, good. Close Safari now. Hey, everybody. We're back. Yes, it does work with Zerbo. So let's talk about this. Let's get into I haven't even opened this. It still has the tape on it. I've been super nice and haven't even opened this yet. But yeah, so one of the parts of the project was to make sure that this would work on all of your favorite Prusa mods. So it works with stock. It works with the Mark IIs. It works with the Mark 2.5. It works with the stock Mark III. It works with the Zerabo, which I have on here, the Zerabo X-axis, and it works with the Bear X-axis. Have not tested it with an MMU2, but it should work. There are other people who use Bondtech with it. So let's get everything out of here, and then we'll talk about it. We got all kinds of stuff. All right. Nice little box from Sweden, shipped FedEx super fast from Martin. Thank you, Martin from Bondtech, for doing all this. So this is what you get. You get this really pretty SLA printed Bondtech extruder. Already set up. All you need to do is harvest the Bondtech gears from your Mark III. Now, thankfully for me, I already had a I already pulled one of these off of my other printers. You can see this one already has a Bondtech extruder on it. This is the one done by Pedro that's on Thingiverse. So it takes a regular BMG, attaches it to basically something to house it on, and it works pretty well. It does have a couple issues for assembly. It does have a couple issues that make it very awkward to work with. And he has a new revision that fixes a lot of that, and also includes the indirect filament sensor and stuff like that. This is SLS printed. It is exceptional in quality. So I mean, it's basically perfect. I mean, it's basically perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to take apart this, because I already have the wiring set up for a different motor. I'm going to use the different motor. Ooh. And while their screws are holding it in. Oh, look at that. That's cute. Another hidden screw under there. We're just going to swap the motor out. The Moons and the Winson motors are already terminated correctly, and Bondtech does include a proper cable to work with the Prusa extruder, but everyone else is testing it with stock extruder or stock motors and stuff, so I want to be the one oddball with a different one. So we've got our Moon's exact replica versus the Bondtech extruder. So we'll give that a go instead. But yeah, it is a lot lighter. So I'm going to take, I don't think I have a stock Prusa one, but just the SLS parts and the screws and bolts. Look at that. I brought a scale to the party. So 0. So with this, the screws, boom. This part, the fan shroud. So just the bits are under 100 grams, right? 98 grams. With a motor, either one, we're now at 240 grams. And the stock Prusa just the motor on the stock Prusa is 295 grams. So we are 50 grams lighter than just the motor on a stock Mark III and Mark IIs, if that makes any sense. Yeah, and a lot of the weight savings, also the SLS prints. I mean, they're so light. They're SLS nylon, they're solid, and they're just super light. And so well made. So we'll get rid of all that. We'll hide my scale. We don't need that today or anymore. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. Look at all the stuff. So let me harvest some things from here. So we're going to harvest this setup. Put that right there. And we're going to harvest this Bondtech gear, which I believe if we just pull on it and pop it out, should be good. So that's just cantilevers out a little bit. Maybe if I get something behind it. I've never actually taken apart a Bondtech extruder. Or I guess, yeah, this was a Bondtech. There we go. There we go. We got that out. We go find our door here. And then this goes in like this. I have not gotten the pink printer done yet, but that is on the list. It's always on the list. I'm waiting for a couple extra parts because it's going to be super cool. So I really need to order some things. I'm actually missing one thing they haven't ordered even yet, so that will be on the list. Things to do in the new year. Right, line that up, push that in. Voila. And then this goes back in here. That lines up smashingly perfect. This pin goes right in there. Oh yeah, I have tons of prints to compare. So I can literally just reprint all the G codes I've been printing recently and have them up for evaluation. Okay, and then we're going to set this bad boy in here and check our alignment of the Bondtech gear since we moved it from one system to another. I don't know if there's a difference. Yep, that is dead center. All right. Put the tensioner back on. And let's go ahead and reattach that motor. Dun, 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 dun. And it does have the nice self-centering motor hole. 69 here, only 7 thumbs up. Yeah, everyone hit those thumbs up. I don't know what it does, but you got to hit them. All right, I'm going to take a look at the chat now. That is a good fun fact. It is all completely solid, which is true. This is completely solid because it is SLS printed. Let's get this bad boy in that little hole. The ones back here, or this one that I'm working on, Mr. Oscar, for a workbench? That in there. And let's see. Nozzle X's, as far as I know, are still backed up because they had a issue with the something or other with it. So pre-order should be still pre-ordering until E3D fixes whatever issue they were having. And final screw. All right, we have done a motor swap. Turn the correct way. Because I turned my 90s. I turned my 90s degrees. All right, then we need a steel. We need to harvest this bad boy. The biggest difference is just, in my opinion, probably going to be the quality. I've never used the Bondtech one, but the Moon's motors are definitely higher quality, and I don't have a pancake this small in an LDO cool step. If I did, I would throw that on there. But since I know how well, I have prints using the same community-made Bondtech extruder or BMG extruder, and I used it with this Moon, so I have samples that I can actually compare. If I throw a different motor in there, I don't want to have to be like, oh man, it was all this or that's fault. This way I can't blame something. And the back ones, yeah, those are Home Depot. So you can get those pre-made at Home Depot. The 0.9 degree LDO should be released basically in the new year. So we're coming up really, really soon to the release of that. All right, check our fit before we do anything. I'm getting a pause here. See if there's something special you got to do. You know what? I think it's because, so one of the things that's weird about the Moon's motors is they have a longer, yep, and that's it. The longer shaft won't work with the Moon's motor. So won't be able to do a one-to-one comparison because the hole in here only goes to the maximum shaft length. So I won't be able to test that. So we're going to have to pop that Moon's motor back off. See, we're learning. Now you know. The Moon's stepper will not fit. We'll pop that off, and I'll have to wait for the LDO one, because the LDO one will definitely be the right size. Michael, I will be updating the Mega Mods list as soon as the new year allows me the chance to do so. That's going to be like the New Year's new printer. It's kind of the idea, you know, that I had. So all that work I just did, I got to undo it. So we're back to this motor. Sure, I don't have another pancake so I can. I could use the one that's on here, but that thing's just okay. I guess I'll just use this. We'll see how it works just with this bad boy. So 3D Guster, I've never had an issue. I had a 0.9 degree running on that Mark III. Not this one, but a different one. And let's see here. And boom, there we go. I was thinking. Yes, there is an exploded assembly in the box, which will help. Of course, I'm being a little crazy, as normal. All right. Let's install their motor again and turn it the direction I want it turned. Almost got confused here. I'm like, what is this tiny part? That's from my other Bondtech. So let's not have that on the desk for me to make mistakes with. All right, that is set again. Yeah, it's definitely longer, which is annoying. I might have my buddy cut that down for me so I can do a one-to-one test, because that would be fun. But I'll go with stock for now. It's not a Moon's LDO, so there's Moon's Motors, so this is just a brand. And then the brand that Prusa uses is LDO. And LDO has there's going to have, motors specifically for this. So options, man, options for motors. Ooh, and Matter Hackers also uses LDO for their Pulse Prusa clone. There we go. That in there. Get that little spacer back in there. All right, well, we're back to where we started, sort of. Make sure everything's not too tight, not too loose. And stopping at the same spot. Wait a minute. Maybe this has got to go here first, which makes life easier. That might have been it. Maybe that motor will work. I don't know how long that shaft hole is. It's not very long. I'm not going to fret. I don't have any donating pages. Donating is silly for me. I do this for the funsies. No, I really do this for the funsies. So see if I can get this. All right, that went on. Let me try that again with that weird thing because I didn't want to pop on before. It's the huge set. Hey, what up, Olaf? Or OC? I have to build my own hot end too, so I'm going to build a from scratch hot end for this to make sure everything's good. Oh, there's no forcing, Olaf. Chris doesn't do forcing. I'm going to try that. I'll try that moons again, knowing the fact that it took a little different positioning technique to get it on correctly. And so I'm going to just dry fit that on there. Just one screw tight. Well, I guess I'll screw it down. There's no harm in that. Did I turn the motor correctly? No. I'm so excited. I'm not doing anything right. All right. Turn the motor this direction. And that makes it all better again. Thanks, Olaf. It's always good to know someone's going to check up on me. Make sure I haven't fallen asleep at the build process. Okay. So what I did last time to make that install easier was insert that. Yep, that turns good. There's no gap. Bearing is in there, nice and good. I have the door open. Let's try that again. Yep, okay, the moons fits. And if I tighten that down, so I do need to align the Bondtech gear a little differently, it looks like. So let's find that little set screw. And pop it in there. Triple check that alignment. Yep, there's a little change I got to make here. Okay. There we go. Now we're aligned. Oh yeah, dead center. All right. So let's take this thing back apart, and we got to build a hot end. Must build a hot end. I don't think the Bondtech motor is inferior. It just, I have test images or test prints using this exact moons motor. So I don't want the motor to be the change. I don't want there to be too much different than all my tests. So I will eventually go back to this, and I'm going to order another one. I'll put that on a different printer. Oh, this is so pretty, little SLS printed fan shroud. All right. Let's build a hot end. Because I might be able to. The other one has the other one that had the moons had a stock Mark III. So standard, micro Swiss, Mark III heat brake. So the other one had a stock Mark III heat brake. So I don't want to. Here, I'll use this one. This one is from that date, and these are all my titaniums. Okay. Yeah, that headset. It's the only way to not make a mess, and I can't put. Every time I use or tested the lavalier mic, I would just get a bunch of muffling, and my beard would scrape it when I moved my head. So yeah, so now I look like a tech support kid. Logan, I don't think there'll be major differences. I do know the Moon's motors and the newer LDOs are much better with the make sure there's no issues, because I always find issues with we'll use this one's not as polished. E3D, sometimes your hot end or your heat breaks are weird. Prusa one's more polished, so the one I got from Prusa. Yeah, the new mic is definitely way less intrusive. I can actually communicate with everybody and not bump into a microphone. So this will be the one I use when I do stuff like this. And I'll need some PTFE tube, which is down there, a silicone sock. I will put a fresh thermistor on there. So do I have a 40 watt? That is a 12 volt, 24 volt, 40 watt. And does that have a precision on that one? Yep, that one has a precision. So we got to use the same thing, maybe? Nah, I won't mess with that. And then I need, I'll steal the thermistor from you. No, I'll just keep the thermistor and the and that from that one. That way I'm not doing too much craziness. I'll need my PTFE tube reamer thingy. I will need a fresh heat sink and anything else. Yeah, PTFE cutter tube thingy. My 45-degree angle maker, Colette clips, and a block. Let's see. I need a beard microphone, and it just looks like beard hair. Like instead of using a dead, I think they're called, the big ones are called dead cat. I don't know what the tiny ones are called. I think they might still be called dead cats. There's that. And yeah, I need to quick change everything. It'd be nice if I could just like take 2 screws and just pop that off. Okay, and then silicone, or not silicone. My injector of heat shrink, heat sink paste and stuff should be in one of these pockets. There you go. Yep, here it is. One injector of Slice Engineering awesomeness. Second injector in case that runs out, because you know, you never know when you're going to run out of that stuff. I think that's all I need out of that. And we'll get some isopropyl alcohol and a glove. I'm good. So the new extruder is perfectly lined up, so I think it should work better with flexibles. There is a longer PTFE tube from the, so the distance changed from the stock extruder. It's a little bit taller, so you have a little bit longer distance, but I don't think that's going to matter with a good PTFE tube. So I've got a bunch of PTFE tube under here. I'll probably use a Capricorn and get that all nice and neat, so that way there isn't a there isn't too much wiggle room for it to move around. So let's take a look here. That fits just fine. And we need a pretty short PTFE tube. So let's get some PTFE tube. Look at that, magic. and I need a certain blade. So he didn't do anything. This guy named Pedro designed this. And it just takes a BMG and attaches it to basically a frame, so that way you can use it on your Mark III. Zero of this design was ever used in this design. This design encompasses Zerabo, Prusa's design, not even a BMG design. So this actually has a different internal design. It's a different angle and setup. That way it's much more compact. And then so Bear, Zerabo, Prusa, and Bondtech tech all went into this. So he's very argumentative. He did the same thing when I posted my first thoughts on this, and I said there were some issues, and he started yelling on the Facebook chat saying that there's no issues, it's perfect. You're just being poopy. So I have no idea what makes him so angry. But he had that gentleman who's angry had no design part of it. He was a tester of this one, but none of that design was used in the final process. There's that, and let's 45 it. Make sure you get the blade in there just right. Okay, and we'll find our length. So if we set that in there, and where is my calipers? There they are. Look at that, I can grab things from a distance and not knock over stuff. And this distance is 5 millimeters. It's about 38. That's good. So 5 on the dot. Of course, it'd probably be good if I set a heat break in there, just to get. It's on Thingiverse. I don't have access, but I have it in there. I'll probably put it in the description afterwards. So 5 millimeters from there. Yeah, this is better. Just to confirm, it was exactly 5 millimeters to there. Score mark. There we go. So that distance is I'm getting 39. I'm going to do the cut at 39. And I can always trim from there. So once it's 38, I'm going to cut for 39. So insert some copper. Oh, this is the okay. Yeah, so you're gonna have to make a custom length, and I think they marked it at exactly what length it needs to be, but I like to confirm things. So we're cutting for 39. check. Oop, I missed my mark. There we go. Yep. Yep, that is correct. Now I just need to use a fancy tool. Yeah, I mean, they could have put one in there. But who doesn't have a ton of PTFE tube lying around? So yeah, 38 or 39 works just fine. Shouldn't move around. All right, and then we'll take our reamer. And you don't have to do the reaming part because this already has a, since this is SLS nylon, it's already really nice and smooth. I use the copper ones on all my printers, and they are okay. I don't see a huge benefit for what I do. If I were to print a lot faster and a lot hotter, I think I would probably enjoy them more. But because the printers are a Cartesian style, it's really hard to go over 100 millimeters per second that easily. Oh, and of course I did that again. Yes, I do use the Capricorn tubing. I use the light blue one only because sometimes filament is poopy, and the dark blue one, the really fancy one, can be a little tight fitting. Pull up some of this and some isopropyl alcohol. We're going to clean out the inside of our hot end because I do have some leftover bits in there. I do have some leftover goodness in there from the last time I used this heat sink. Again, might take a few tries to get all the nastiness. Yes, I do have my collect clips. They're right next to me. So is my garbage can. If you want some really good PTFE tube that's not Capricorn, go to fluorostore.com. They make really well done PTFE tubing. It's spec'd extremely well. And they're a medical supplier, so their stuff's really nice. Because PTFE tube was not invented for 3D printing, like most things for 3D printing. All right, we got that nice and cleaned up. All the bits, all that excess nonsense. Really should have got more paper towels. I didn't think about it. I have a spill of isopropyl right here. No paper towels. Maybe I call Grubhub and be like, hey, bring me some food and paper towels. I'll put the collect clip on. It didn't come with one. At least I didn't look. It might be in the box somewhere. Nope, there's no, but there's extra everything. There's a bunch of extra stuff. Happy about that. All right, that is good. We will now stock Mark III heatsink. God, I should probably clean that off too. More Q-tips. It's usually 4mm OD, 2mm ID. I like the light blue ones from Capricorn because they are spot on usually, but you don't need to spend that much money. The ones from Fluorostore are spot on. The ones from Amazon aren't bad. I've had some really bad sections of it where it would be, it's not centered, and that centering of the tube is very important. Mind you, I've also had Capricorn tubing that wasn't perfectly centered. but I just snipped it until it was, and it wasn't much that was off. So way better than the stuff I've gotten from Amazon. All right, so that's clean. We need some of our fancy thermal paste from Slice Engineering, which I will apply with this. And I have to be very gentle because if you push really hard, this stuff comes out way too fast. Yep, there it is. Like I popped a zit all over my desk. And we will get this all on the threads. But you guys didn't know I was going to be building a hot end too. I like to throw those curveballs. All right, that is well in the grooves. You got to make sure you get them in the grooves, because when you tighten this down, excess is going to squeeze out because the threads are pretty tight. There's not really a ton of room. Wish I had second cam. If you will need to cut a PTFE tube, but you won't have to do any of the, like you can just take the stock one and cut it to 38 millimeters or 39 millimeters. I'd probably do 39, and then if it's too long, you know, snip it down a little bit. That way it's already has the 45 chamfer at the bottom versus you having to do any of that stuff. I just like to cut my own to make sure everything is good and it's seated properly. And I can't blame somebody else for the mistake. I can only blame me. But you will need to cut it though. So that's the bare minimum. You'll have to cut it to 30. I'd just cut to 39, and then if it's too long, just snip another millimeter off. Throw that away. Well, you can use the one from the hot end you already have. So you don't need any extra. You can just use that. Unless it's extremely damaged, then I would be like, no, don't use it. All right, insert that. Insert into here. Boom. And then we insert the collect clip. I know that was one of the tricks that was mentioned. Voila. And put that collect clip right there. Oop. Don't put it right there. Put it right. Because once you have the collect clip installed first, there is a little issue of trying to jam the hot end in there without bending the PTFE. I'll just lightly put that right there. And then, woo! Collect clip in the face. Thought that was a good idea. Yeah, the dark blue works. The dark blue does work very well from Capricorn. I've had some issues with it, with some really out of spec bad filament. So I went back to the light blue, which is fine. If you have like a Bowden system, yeah, definitely go with the dark blue Capricorn tubing. It works. Perfect. All right, we're good with that. We don't need to mess with that anymore. This part's good. And we need to find this, and we need to find a nozzle. So what nozzle do I want to use? What nozzle do I have? Do I take the nozzle off of that? I probably have to take the nozzle off of that. So let's preheat this. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. So settings, temperature, nozzle. I'm so used to having the Repetier server on those 7-inch screens over there. I literally have a custom setting. I go preheat, and it's nozzle only to 275 for nozzle change, and it's called nozzle change. So we'll do 280 to remove that nozzle. And it's the same nozzle I'm using over there. And I ordered more, and it's probably going to arrive today in the mail of the nozzles I use. So Sad panda for me. All right, that's done, that's done. I'll need the nozzle off of there, which means I need to open this off. Come here. And then we can start disassembling an old and unhappy little guy here. So the silicone sock, I use little metal wire usually from zip ties, not zip ties, from twist ties. So I'll take the plastic off the zip tie to use that. That always works. Buy some E3D from that. Spare section. So Oscar's asking, I want to buy some E3D for my Mark III. Does it have to be from Prusa Mark III hot end spare section? No, you can order that. They're all the same. The only thing that's different is there is a Mark III specific heat break, and E3D does sell them, and Printed Solid does sell them now. I don't know if anyone in Europe sells this. Well, I mean, if you're in Europe, you might as well order it from E3D, and you're good to go. So let that warm up. We're at 235. We're getting there. This is going to be good. And I can finish assembling this thing. All these fun toys here. Oh, they even include a little. They did cut the PTFE tube they need for the little Prusa door. Wow. Super nice quality. This is the little extruder cover on the top. That's so cute and well printed. 276, close enough. All right, so I'm going to need 7mm and this. Okay, let's pop that sock off. I'm going to burn myself a couple times. Don't worry, I constantly burn myself doing this. I'm going to throw away the old sock. It's no good anymore. Move this fancy liquid over there. Raise my Z up. You get to watch me, hopefully not do anything crazy. All right, come here, printer. This might not be the long enough one. Where's my long enough one? Yes, Richard, I will be trying this with the MMU2. That is on the list of things to do. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. You got a bunch of stuff on there. Of course you don't want to play nice. You got so much gunk on this nozzle. Ah, there it is. We got it. Don't worry. And do I have a spare? No. Gonna go in there with the hot finger. Give me your nozzle. All right. Put you in here. Oh, wait. I hit a socket wrench just for this occasion. All my socket wrenches over by the printers, but I knew I had to hide one. All right, and then we're going to unscrew the thermistor. And the heater core is this one. Oh, I didn't grab the right one. 2 millimeter. 2 millimeter. Where are you at, 2 millimeter? Let's see, 2.5, 1.5, 2.5. I swear I grabbed one. If all else fails, you roll back and you grab the 2 millimeter one off of your fancy hook that holds them. And see if I can get that loose. Nope. I need a 90-degree one. So I need my bag of E3D part. Where's my hot end box? Hot end box. Need a 9-degree. I need more torque. Let's see, those are both 1.5. That's a 1.5. What? Christopher Robbins. How dare you not have a 90-degree 2 millimeter one just lying around for this occasion? Oh, wait. I think I do have one in my little hidden tray here. There it is. Always check your hidden trays, folks. Come on. It's always easier to loosen hot. And remember, kids, don't burn yourselves like I'm doing. All right, we can do this. Only done it 10 million times, but it's really on there. This is a copper block too, which is one of the things I don't like about copper blocks. Is the nozzle sticks harder because it doesn't expand like the aluminum block, and you need to really tighten that back screw that holds the heater cartridge in, or it. I think I actually stripped it a little bit. I can get it out later if it is stripped. I can just replace it with. Yeah, looks like it. Looks like it's stripped. No biggie. So cool down. Whew, that's hot. Done. So we got that. Get this little fuzzy off of there. I don't like that fuzzy. I'm going to continue breaking down here just a little bit more. This off. This extruder, unfortunately, is not very fun to take apart. This will help me out in the long run. I'll let that cool back down to temp. Yeah, the Ruby torque tool works way better. The only problem is the copper block. I've always had an issue getting the proper torque because it doesn't expand. So, and I've had some really bad tolerances with the E3D copper block. So sometimes they're even just hand screwing them in, they're tight. So it's hard to get a good like feel for what the proper torque is on that. So I prefer the aluminum blocks when it comes to making sure you're properly torquing your goody nozzles down. Make sure my nozzle too hot? Nope. All right. Burn there? There we go. We'll use the proper E3D technique of unscrewing by 1/4 turn. Okay. Set that in there. And tight, good to go. Awesome. We now have a hot end. And that still has a long way to go to cool down. What else doing? 121 viewers. Holy cow. All right. So that's done. That's done. This is looking pretty. I can assemble this bad boy because the rest will go from the other side. I got my Zerbo rear axis carriage here. Got this. That screw is in there. That's in there. Do I need anything else? Nope. So this should just clamshell together now. Like a proper little hot end. All right. Oh, super nice. There's a good fit there. Yep, everything is a nice fit. That's in there tight. That's good. Set the Bondtech gear. This. Load. There we go. It's got little vent holes. Well, not vent holes, just to lighten it up even more. Looks good. Still super light. Definitely comes apart a lot easier than it goes together, which is kind of fun. Okay. Oop. Get back in there. See, look at that. See you, Brian. Have fun. Happy New Year in Scotland, man. Happy New Year from the Americas. All right, set screw back in there. Stop trying to fall out, screw. Do one. Make sure that's pushed all the way up. Yep, we're good. So I did very little in the design end. My big thing was to try to get this to be open source, and it is. So that was the biggest. That is the biggest, like, part that I actually had in any of this, and I helped add Greg from the Bear Project, who did a lot of the tiny detail work with the designing. Yes, I am noted on there, even though I didn't really do any of the design work. I don't think there's a GitHub, but there all the what is that thing called? The step files will be released as soon as these things start shipping to more and more people. It's the same tightness or the same setup with and without the clip installed. Mr. T Turbo Keyboard Services. I need names. There we go. That's aligned. Good to go. All right, we need to harvest a filament sensor. Is that one the one that's a bad filament sensor? I have a spare filament sensor here somewhere. I should harvest this one from here. I like this black one a lot better. Oh, the actual collet. You know, let me try that. So I know that's how it was on the, because it fits fine like that too. Come here, Mr. 2B. And no, there's no difference because there's actually room in this one for it. So the collet doesn't actually have to be removed. Hi, Gavin. One thing about me, I'm horrible with names. So I might forget this after like a day. And I apologize. That's just like my one thing I've been really bad at is names. Really good with faces and what printer you have and what issues you've had with your printer. But I'm really bad at remembering what your name is. The same thing when I used to be in sales. I used to work at a camera store, and I'd never remember people's names that I sold stuff to. I remembered exactly what I sold them. It was just a weird thing. It is a weird thing. And reline up that Bondtech gear. A little bit of a move to pop it into the bearing. So note that when you're installing it. You'll pop that Bondtech gear slightly to the right. Heck yeah, Paul. I always like to hear when people get their literally the removal of collet is to grab it and pull up, and you have to use a little bit of force, and it will shrink those little grabby teeth. I stole the printed collet clip from the Bondtech one, which was nicer. So, all right, that's almost cool enough to finish taking apart. Because that's my next step is literally stripping all that down and then setting this all up and seeing how that all works. Let me grab my breakdown. Let me grab my little breakdown sheet here. So it comes, this is your awesome manual in 3D breakdown mode. All right. We are back to assembling. That's good, that's good. Good. Ooh, there's a little 3D printed part. I forgot about that. Is it in here? No, it doesn't look like it's in here. Okay. And good. So I need a bunch of screws that are long. And they include them? They do. They include them. Man, it's so nice. Hey, Martin. I'm building your extruder. So there's Martin, the man behind the Bondtech. So if you have questions for Bondtech, yeah, Steve, the exploded thing is there. 3D printed llama, you've never seen this channel before. We build stuff. Poorly, usually, because I'm doing it. That's good. And what's cool is, so there's 2 different locations for the pinda. You can see there's like a figure 8 shape. I'm using my bald head to show you that figure 8 shape. So you can put the pinda, if you have a Mark IIs, I think it's further back, and then if you have the Mark III, it's further forward. I don't recall which way is which, so someone will have to remind me which one is which. Yeah, I am a great baby. So, oh, the fan finally turned off on that, so that means that is good. I will not burn my fingers. And we'll see how these alignment holes work. Oh yeah, wow, that lines up perfect. Okay, let's do some things. Let's get parts out of here. So we'll turn this thing off. Robin, I think the change would only take about 2 hours because you have to take the entire, well, it depends. I have to take that much time because I have to redo a bunch of stuff. If you have a stock Mark III, it's actually much faster. I do not have a stock Mark III, so this is going to take me longer. And I'm going to be as methodical as I can be. Hey, what's up, Tom? Filament Frenzy's in the house. Yeah, I just had my face redone, so freshly shaved. My barber lined up my beard. I no longer look like that guy from, what is that? Hagrid, Hodor, whoever that gentleman is from the Harry Potters. And I have some snips. Yeah, you know, new year, new me, right? Pull that out. Give me that extruder. Hagrid. How's it going, Scald? It's going great. Just ripping things apart, you know, as per the usual. That comes out. And come on. Let's see. This fan comes out. This fan comes out. And I believe this wire should also come out for the thermistor. And there we go. Let's take this apart. Gonna stop by the New Year's stream show. Aw, you're working. Isn't it like not work season now? Hey man, that bear frame is awesome. And Greg is almost done working on the carriage piece for the bear to work with the Bondtech extruder. All right. Luckily, I leave extra room for all that. Clip, 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 clip. I think that's all of them. That is. Oh, one more. Clip. Undo my cable wrap, which is really frayed on both sides because I never heated them up, so I'll have to make a new one of those. And that. Remove the panda. Panda is removed. Fan is removed. I can now harvest these. Yeah, I do have more orange cable wrap, but I'll probably use the fire retardant stuff that I have. Right here. Is it in here? Nope. Nope, yep, it's here. I got some fire retardant. And the only way you know is there's white lines on it. Okay, that's good. And I need an extruder motor cable. And one last screw in that fan. I should be able to harvest all the bits. There it is. Harvesting bits. Come here. Don't be so shy, Mr. Cable. We're friends. There we go. Yeah, I'll do. I'll order another one, and I'll do a more detailed video, like an actual install video close up and stuff. So that'll be on the list of things to do. And I'll pop this. Let me detension the belt. Detensioning the belt. And then I can harvest the belt off of this. And I think I'll need a cut new belt. Come here. Goodbye, belt. CU 3D PTR 3D print. Man, I need to know everyone's names. There needs to be like a little like bubble that pops up over everyone as they talk that says their real name. All right, let's harvest bits here. So I'm gonna steal this motor wiring cable harness. Here we go. And pop this in. This goes through here. We'll put a spin on the cable. There we go. Xenon fan. You know what? We'll use a proper one from all 3D makers. Wherever I put that, should be in a drawer. Where is it? There it is. Get that one out of here. That's one that I soldered myself. All right. And I need to harvest some. Where's my screw bin? Oh, there it is. Fresh fan screws. Oh, Lars. See, that helps. Dude, I'm so happy with the 7x7 leveling. That was such a good find. Those guys who worked on that, that's super awesome. So, ooh, I need special screws for this. I'll go with the full set of the special screws. They are sitting right here. Just a 1.8, but it's a 1.8 moons because the same printer I have test prints from also had a moons. So I don't want to like... Yeah, someone can find that link for people for the 7x7 bed leveling. That has been super awesome. Okay, 1, 2 fresh screws. And 2 fresh screws. Don't want to put old screws on this. I haven't done the, let me move this a little bit higher. There we go. I have not done the firmware upgrade through Repetier yet, but it looks super cool. All right. 4 screws there. That's there. Good to go. So now we need to put a fan on here. This thing's super cool. I like this fan arm holder. Looks like it pops on here and gets screwed on some magical way. Like this. That looks correct. So, 3-to-1 gearing by itself is really nice just in general. So Bondtech and the other brand, E3D, both make 3-to-1 geared extruders, one being the Titan and the one by Bondtech being the BMG, this little guy here. And it increases print resolution because, you know, every time you turn the motor gear, it takes three extra steps to do the same amount of movement. So the benefits to that is 1, more resolution, and number 2, my favorite one is you can use a smaller, lighter motor. So you can use this size motor versus a full-sized. I should have a full-size one here somewhere. Here we go. Let me grab one that's not attached to a bunch of things. So right here you have a huge weight saving. So this is almost 300 grams by itself. The entire extruder from Bondtech is 250 grams. So just the motor from the original system weighs more than the entire extruder here. And that's because you get to use a smaller, lighter motor because, again, because it's geared 3-to-1, the amount of torque you need is a third of that. So if this motor is actually, I think, 19 or 20 Newton centimeters. So in the end, it's actually 60. So this is actually powerful enough to move the extruder versus, you know, if you put this pancake motor on your regular Prusa, it'll turn, but you'll be printing at like 5 millimeters per second or 10 millimeters per second. So overall, you get some huge benefits. And lighter, for one, is better to get less ringing. You'll get less artifacting in general. So it makes it more nimble. And this is actually really well balanced. And I think a lot of that has to do with how light this thing is. This thing is super duper light. I like it. Let me go find a brand new filament sensor, because I think this is the one with the bad filament sensor. There's my brand new filament sensor. Nope, that's my old filament sensor. There should be a new one here somewhere. One of these containers. Hey, first thermistor. We can use that. Well, I might just harvest the broken one and replace it later. Somewhere in one of these boxes is a fresh filament sensor, because I stabbed one poorly and made it not work very well. Which is my normal MO. Not in there. Not in there either. And then when I cleared my desk, I didn't even think about it. So I just threw everything in couple big bins, and yep. All right, see you, John. All right, so we are almost done with this. We have the fan on, the motor on, the hot end installed. Still needs to be tightened, so we can't forget about that. We need to put the pinda in, and is there a guide to tell me which pinda location I have to use? I think I have to use the front one, because it's set like that. So pinda probe. It doesn't tell me which pinda location to use, so that might be helpful for some builders, because to make this thing work on both, there's 2 pinda locations. On the Mark III, the pinda is different than on the Mark 2.5, or in a different location in the Y direction than on the Mark IIs, Mark 2.5. So I'll need to figure out which one is which. I don't have that in front of me, but it should insert just like that. And we'll just loosely tighten it. We can change it later. That's the benefit of this design. If this isn't the correct orientation, I'll just go back in later and make it the correct orientation. Oh, that's right. The 2.5 is the same. So it's the 2S and the Mark II that are different. So good. And then I will use a fresh fan. Where are my spare fans hiding at? There they are. Come with me, guys, in my pajama pants. Because I literally woke up, and then FedEx was like, hey, look at this. Got stuff. I was like, stuff? I like stuff. Stuff is awesome. Ugh. All right. Hey, that fits. Look at that. Of course, they didn't put any of the hex nuts in there, so I gotta take this thing apart again. I'm learning with you. I'm learning with all of you. Let's pour this baggie out, get those hex nuts. Martin was nice enough to include all of the hardware. So looks like maybe, yeah, they don't actually suck in there, so I just need to hold them in place. I love my 2.5. It is a champ again. I do need to finish doing the, there's a mod to add different stripper drivers so it's quieter. That's on my to-do list of things. Give me there. Give me a little set screw. Not a little set screw, a little hex screw. Come on, you can do it. There it is. Fresh fan. Why would we use an old fan? Who would do such a thing? That is an 18 mil distance, as same as it always has been. Okay. I'll get this side. And we'll have fans on, and then I can finish stripping down that Mark III X-axis so I can put the rest of this together. Yeah, the driver mod's super nice. So I just got my 2208 TMC drivers, which are super amazing. Whisper quiet, no need any calibration. Go. Okay. That looks good. Look at that. It's all pretty looking. Yeah, 2208s definitely make the 2130s that most printers use look pretty silly. I mean, why would you spend all that time calibrating when you can just buy a setup that's already calibrated? I mean, that's just my opinion. Who am I? Just a crazy guy with a beard. And do make sure you add, so this is from Veco Zerbo Extruder. I love this. So it holds the cable away from being in the way of the exit port. Nice little touch there. All right. Those are all the things that need to be attached. So I need to put that Zerbo X-axis carriage on with all those fancy screws. Yeah, definitely come back and review later. Looks like a lot of people just stopped in to see what the heck was going on and then have to go back to real world. And today is, you know, New Year's somewhere. Okay, that's good. No screws need to go in there. That's all set. This is the cheapest good one I can find on Amazon. So I just went on Amazon. I was like, hey, need a headset because I always bump into the microphone constantly. So this is what I found. There it is. Found it. Nice. That'll be a nice, easy install, since that way you can do that install right from when you get your printer in. Versus like some of us, like me, who's sitting here doing this right now live. And that is nicely in the channel. Just going to push that down a little bit. Oh, no, that's in the channel. No issue there. That's good. Let's just keep putting screws in here. Where's my blowout? Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know about the stepper, the voltage conversion. And they're all the same length. This makes it easy. Oh, look at that. There's a little tiny one for there. So this goes in here. And this one goes in here. And then we tighten all that down with the magic screwdriver. Oh yeah. Having these full length screws is definitely super nice. That definitely locks everything in nice and pretty. Yeah, the stock frame's not bad. There's nothing wrong with the stock frame. The bare frame just does allow a lot more modification and a lot more awesomeness. So, boom. Wow, that is so light. This just feels ridiculously light for some reason. That would go in there. That would go in there. Then I need a cable tie, zip tie. I'll zip tie those wires where I want them. Yeah. I don't want to convince anybody to do anything. I'm just crazy. Well, let me measure it and I'll tell you how light it is. And then we'll talk. I want to have an actual final weight. Because somewhere I have the stock weight, so I can actually compare. I want all the bits and pieces together. But in my hand, this thing just feels pretty ridiculous. Like I don't even really feel the stepper motor because it's so light. Oh, well, Turbo Keyboard Services is Stephen Armstrong, so that makes a big difference. Now they know Stephen Armstrong can pick on them. And of course, the awesome benefit of this Bondtech extruder is if you get a jam or something, you can just open up this door all the way and get right into that Bondtech gear with one screw. No issue. All right, so we have all the bits on here. Pinda's attached, probes attached. Oh, I need the filament sensor, which I know on mine isn't working well. So let me pop that off. I need cutters. Cutter. And there goes that bad boy. This feels much heavier than this. So that's a good perk. So let me pop this. Oh, that's squeaky. Hope that's not squeaky on camera. The thumb screw doesn't have to be that tight at all. I didn't notice needing, like on my, this one also has a BMG on it, and I didn't have to be tight. You know, just basically flush tight for the most part. Where is my scale? Oh, fell down. So this is the previous BMG extruder. And just in my hand, it feels heavier. I hope I'm not wrong. Mind you, this one has more attached to it. So this one has a Sanan fan and the blower fan. This one does have these cables on it. So this weighs 370 grams with everything attached. With even more things attached. Oh, this doesn't even have the Pinda or any of that. 307. So it looks like it's the same. 360 and 385. Well, this one has the fan and the Pinda and the other fan attached, as well as all the cables and all that fun stuff. So roughly the same, which is super nice. And we're going to harvest. Well, I guess we're not going to harvest you. So yeah, that's super light for this. I mean, the stock Prusa one, I'll have to find my my photo of it. I took a photo of the stock, and it was way heavier than this. This was already 100-something grams lighter than the stock setup with everything attached. All right, so let's harvest a few more things here. I need that filament sensor. Happy New Year, Ronald. Thanks for stopping by. And happy New Year's Eve to everyone in the US. And I guess if you're in New Zealand or Australia, it's basically New Year's. I mean, you're basically done. You had your midnight. I'm still waiting for my midnight. And this is the only other issue with this design is getting that silly screw out of there. I have spares already. I always have spares, so I'm not worried about the filament sensor right now. But I will put it in so I can set the what is that thing called? So I can set the magical wire for it. At least that's in place, and I don't have to do that later. Oh, I hate this screw. This design has issues. Printed really well, but definitely was not easy to work on stuff. Yeah, that should do it. I should be able to get this filament sensor out now without scratching the crap out of it. Maybe I need more love. There we go. Filament sensor, guess what? You're dislodged. As I try to stab myself with the box cutter. All right, I will not use anything off of this because it's junk. Well, it's not junk. I'll tear it down later and get all the good bits out of it. Thermistor. Trash can. Actually, I probably should have saved that and use it as a tie wrap to hold on. That goes there. Set screw. All right. And new, make sure this is 24 watt. Yep, 24 watt 40. Remember to always have the proper utensils. Okay, I need to do that 90-degree bend, which I hate doing. It's so painful bending this thing 90 degrees. Okay, I did it. And yes, it was painful. I don't like doing it. And 2 millimeter. Okay. Man, we are looking good. Let me clip this. Hey, Luis, Chris is playing with that brand new Bondtech extruder that just came out. And then I need another square nut. I can harvest that from here. Voila. And then a tiny screw. Teeny tiny. That looks like this. Probably in my Bondtech box, but you know what? This isn't as much of a how-to. I'm learning with you. Once I get much more accustomed to this, I'll be able to do a full build video and stuff like that. All right. Set. Oh yeah, there's no wiggle room. That is nice. Wires all routed well. Filament sensor. Which is very dirty, so we're going to clean that. Q-tip. Box of Q-tips. Maybe that's why it doesn't work. Yeah, I'm also hoping to idiot-proof the guide, even for myself, because I'm like stumbling a little bit here trying to figure out what all this new. That's so dirty. All right, there we go. One super clean filament sensor. A little bit of ISO on a Q-tip. And then again, a tiny screw. Slide that in there. You can do it. There we go. Maybe used too long one. Nope, there it is. Coming in nice and, ooh, that's nice and flush. That's the best part about these parts too. They're so clean. Don't have to do anything. Everything lines up. All right, filament sensor. Oh, you know, I didn't print a filament sensor cover that holds a reverse mode. Do I have one maybe hiding in the box somewhere? I could print one really fast. Let me hop on to the Thingiverse. That's what I was looking for. Thingiverse. Let me text someone because someone's waiting for something today. And there we go. And Thingiverse. Luckily, my printer is still there. So Mark III reverse Odon. I need an extruder cover, sensor cover. I know I saw one that I liked. I'll go without it. Somewhere in this room, there's some way to hold a filament spool. All right, tighten that back up. I don't think I'll need isopropyl alcohol anymore. And I need 2 zip ties. Let's route these cables correctly. Oh, let me clean. There's so much gunk on that. Should have a paper towel just from regular use. No paper towels. What forever shall I do? Oh, I know. Over here in my hidey hole, that no one can see, there should be regular towels. There we go. Some microfibers. And I've got my spray bottle of isopropyl alcohol. Clean these dirty rods off. You have that. Okay, way better. Make sure you clean your rods, guys. Yeah, quick, grab the extruder. No, don't grab it. I don't have it installed yet. Okay, let's route all these cables. So these two go through here, pin nut and blower fan, and then motor and parts. Extruder fan. This goes here. Good. Good. You can do it. There we go. We are lined up. Yep. Zip ties are exactly this far away from me. Yes, it is the hair salon bottle, and those things are amazing. They missed just the perfect spray of goodness. Nope. You know, one of the things I should do is probably put all these square nuts directly in the square nut places before I set this in here. I'm already 7 steps ahead of myself. All right. Oh, sure. That works too. The heat bed makes a great place to leave your tools. Please don't do that. I normally cover my heat bed too when I work on it. Today, it's breaking all the rules. All right, come on. Just 17 more square nuts to put in this thing. I think it's actually 5. So I got 4 more to go. I haven't installed a Zerabo X-axis in a while. There we go. And 1 more in the middle. Show that link. There we go. Yes, Facebook, I trust that person. They can post a link. It's probably easier to do if I was at the table. I really don't want to stand here the whole time. Ooh, wait, no, almost there. Oh. Okay, that's in there. Got it. Good, good, good. And 2 more square nuts. No, I left a lot of grease on this one the last time I built it, and that grease has built up a lot of dirt. So I know exactly what all that grease is from. I normally, after putting the grease into the bearings, I usually, print, and then I'll clean all the excess grease off, so there isn't a ton of it. I didn't do that time. I let it run wild and free. Basically made it messy. And I'm taking grease off with my hands right now. Still on the bearings. Luckily, it's clean grease. Once we get these 2 set, one more zip tie. Good tugging. And remember, these zip ties are not structural. I know everyone likes to make fun of Prusa for using zip ties. These zip ties are just to make it easy to hold those bearings in while you do the rest of the attaching of things. So no structure, no holding important bits. All right, let's put this more into view so you can watch the extruder more than my face. And I'll need these 2 things. Ah, look at that pretty extruder. It's so pretty. Tuck those wires in good. Make sure my wires aren't caught underneath things. Okay. And I need to put a hex nut in the back of this. And do I have a small? Of course I do. I just printed these parts last night while I was sleeping, so it's, you wake up, your parts are done, FedEx arrives, start a YouTube thing, this piece of paper can go. You don't need to watch that paper. This is not a stock one. This is one that I have with the Zerable X-axis already. The stock Mark III is still stock. It's right there. It's printing Dungeons & Dragons terrain. Beautifully, I might add. Very, very prettily. That's in there. And I need another long screw. I think it's this one. Yep. All right. Now I got to feed these cables through it. This is always my least favorite part about this is the bear design is a little bit better where you have the little horseshoe-shaped piece. That way you can remove the back plate completely without having to undo these wires out of this. Wait. I did. I tightened it up. What is this nonsense? Yeah, that's why I keep buying printers. It makes it easier to tinker. So, I mean, if you really need things to tinker with, more printers. That's the way to do it. I did actually just pick up another printer. I picked up my first real Delta. I already had a Delta before, and it was the Monoprice Mini Delta, which, yeah, don't want to say too many bad things, but it was bad. Super bad. Not a fan. It was loud. It was annoying. Okay, now we gotta get some fresh belt. I got a bag of fresh belt. I do. Bag of fresh belt. It can. If you use the bear, you can use the better U-shaped. So if you have the bear X-axis, you can use the bear plate back here. So yeah, it can use the better cable management. It is set up to use all of it. Yep, Gates Power Grip GT-LL2 GT belt. I have a lot of it. Drawers of this thing. Yeah, the Delta I got was $225 US, so it can be bad. But Tom Jackson recommended it. So if Tom Jackson recommends a printer, I'm going to buy it. And one of the other moderators in our Facebook group also has the same printer, and he has switched it to a Duet 2 powered. So it is super nice, and the print quality is super awesome. All right, that's a little too much of a loop. A little less loop crease. There we go. You do it, Chris. No. This part always is the toughest one. The Orion is awesome. I really want to get an Artemis, even though it's like $2,000, which it's fair. It already comes with a Duet, and CNC does a really good job with their printers, so the price is good. I'm also looking at getting a Railcore, the Railcore 2 for a Core XY. So I really can't justify two $2,000 printers at all. So if I'm going to pick one expensive printer to have, it's going to be one. And it's definitely going to be the Core XY. Only because I know it's going to be tool changer ready. Tony from Project Red / the team that's working on the Railcores, he already got his beta tool changer in, so he's working on getting that tool changer to work. So, you know, there's benefits because you can't put the tool changer on that Delta. So, yeah, I'm a YouTuber, but I buy everything myself. There's no kickback. Craig, I'm glad I can convince you to spend wallet money. I hope I was correct. Push that through. Let's feed this correctly. So that is this way. Oop, one thing I need to do is change out. I have the proper length and width. There we go. 100 of these proper doohickeys. Ooh, an Ultimaker 3. You guys are eating tuna fish because you're trying to be really healthy for a week. I mean, new year, new you, right? That's what I'm telling myself. All right. So much extra Gates belts. We're so close, humans. It won't take very long from here. Hey, how are you not getting in there? It should be easy. There we go. And put that in there just like that. Okay. Oh, hey, Jonathan. I can't believe I'm improving anyone's New Year's Eve by being online. Yeah, I've seen the Ultimaker print quality, and it is not the best, but I don't think you buy an Ultimaker for print quality. You buy an Ultimaker because the design is solid, the customer support is solid, the it's gonna work, and of course the the way they've got it set up to just print prototyping constantly, it's not meant to print tchotchkes. If you're gonna print tchotchkes, you don't buy an Ultimaker. You buy everything else. But the nice thing is everything else can print the same stuff as an Ultimaker. So you've gone down with the bug, the New Year's Eve bug. Maybe it's Y2K19 bug. There we go. Just get in there. No, it's twisted. Stop twisting. There we go. I'm tired. All right. One last try to get that in there without it twisting and being silly. Oh, there it is. Got it. We got it. We did it. That was us as a team, everybody that's here. That's all 110 of you. The reason that went in there is because of you. Okay. Oh, that's way too loose. What did I do wrong? No, it's too loose. That means I gotta cut more off. Yep, that's a little loose. The proper one, there's two of them. The one from Zerabo will work. So if you use the Zerabo X-axis and the Zerabo carriage, it'll work. Or if you use the bear, it'll work. Hey, David. No, I'm not done yet, David. You know me. I take my time. Or more or less, I changed things and found out that I did something wrong, and then I changed something else. And I'm learning with you guys and gals. I'm learning, and I can't get this stupid thing in the slot. There we go. Now let's check. Oh, there we go. That is correct. Push those in. Perfect. And the where is, oh, I set my printer on it. I was like, where in the world is that? It's underneath my printer. Belt tensioning is going on. So close. Yep. One of the extruders in the excess. So this is just a reverse Bowden. So basically all it does is it's a feed tube. This is what I normally have on here is a feed tube. It helps a little bit with print quality, but I can't use it right now because, let me just remove that so I don't confuse anybody. Can't use it right now because I don't have the correct topper for this to work with reverse Bowden. I didn't print it. I didn't think about that. I might have one in a box somewhere. There might be an extruder top that does that. So, oh yeah. Super smooth like there. Sorry, I watched Super Troopers 2 yesterday, so my Canadian might go on. I'm not Canadian, but I might say things in Canuck talk. All right. Let's finish putting this together. No, don't roll off the table. Right now. What's funny is they didn't really do it, but then they brought it up the fact that they did do it in the previous movie. It was kind of funny. I liked it. I also watched Bird Box. I hope everyone, you know, I'm a horror movie fan, so I watched the Bird Box based on what all the other humans said about Bird Box, and gotta agree, it's a pretty good movie. You know, it's not as bad as I'm used to seeing in modern day horror movies. See, eh? See what chat's doing. Yeah, liter cola. Favre. Yeah, if you order 10-liter cola, you get a free dessert. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Let's see. I will be doing a Repetier blog. I will continue the Octoprint stuff once I get... oh, come on. Why you no go there? There we go. Good, good, good. Everything lined up correctly. Let's grab a bunch of screws and finish doing this. I do want something to drink. I have cans of things next to me down here. Bag milk? I don't know if I can drink bag milk. That sounds like an experience I'm not ready for yet. What? Oh, these are longer than... They'll go down here. They'll work down here. I think. Yeah. Tighten that down good. I don't even like doing box wine. Slide that down. Oh, it's when I put the wrong size screw and then it doesn't want to come out. There we go. No, don't go back in. Okay, hold that there. Inch. Everyone has bag milk? No, we have cartons and we have boxes. Or jugs. We have jugs. And we're also last century here in the United States. Little seltzer water. Hope everyone can hear that real close. Last two screws. And then we can wire. My E-step should already be set. It should already be at 830. Bondtech included a G-code that you download and run, and it'll set the proper E-steps of 830, which is what it needs. All right. And I need fresh cable, or fresh this stuff. This is my fire retardant stuff. And that length, I'll add a little bit more. I do not have a fridge down here. No, I actually do. It's a film fridge, though, so it holds all my film. You don't need fire retardant wrap, but if this thing ever decides to go on fire, fire retardant wrap is nice. See, if I try to set it on fire, it puts itself out. So science. Yeah, but I have a film fridge down here for all my film and stuff. Oh yeah, I still shoot analog for sure. Huge fan of Polaroid cameras. So before I got into 3D printing, I used to love buying old film cameras and repairing them. I like that. Puts itself out. Oh, that side is off. But I do like the fire retardant wrap. Oh, I do digital as well, but I still shoot analog for the funsies. But the fire retardant wrap is actually thicker and a little more dense. So I do like that. So I have a whole fridge full of. Oh, I need that cable for the filament sensor, which I have extras of right here. I have a ton of, I think that's for me. Let's check the cameras for the outside. Dun, dun, nope. Another package being delivered. Nope, my dogs are just yelling for no reason. Nothing at my doorstep. Should have a shipment from something coming today. But I do have a bunch of Sony cameras, so I've got the Sony A7. This one's the A7R3. I've got A7 IIIs that I shoot with mostly. I have a bunch of those. So that goes here. And we'll route that through there. What are you guys barking at? There is nothing outside, dogs. Silly puppies. Okay. Get in there. Stop being a meanie face. I will use the tool to push you in there. Oh, puppy dogs. They're so fun. I have a Border Collie and a Chihuahua. Nope, no one's stealing any packages. I have security cameras, so I just went ahead and checked it real fast, and nothing outside. Nope. Nothing. All right. Back to wiring. So we need to get these set in. Pull that, pull that. Oh, that one. There it is. All right. And cable ties. I picked it's an Amcrest. So whatever's on Amazon, and then, hey, Happy New Year, Mr. You have fun. Also, don't know how to pronounce the name. You have to teach me how to pronounce that name. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. That's just rude. Hey, what's up, Brian? We're still going. 10 hours in, we'll get this thing. We'll get this thing set up. Oh, so Fike. That's kind of a cool word. All right. And then we set these bad boys. We got to make sure you leave a little bit of wiggle room. You don't want to tighten those down too much. Just one of these for now, just so I can finish cable wrapping. No, you don't. Don't you run from me, cables. And these bottom ones, don't go too tight. You don't want to pinch those and break it. Hey, Happy New Year, Alexandru. I thought I saw Alexander. Slightly different spelling. Okay, that goes all in the funness. Come on. You mean? There we go. One more cable tie, zip tie, whatever they're called. Right there, so that doesn't separate. 120 viewers still. They're all waiting to make sure this thing works. Most everyone's off. That probably helps. Probably no one's working right now, or not many humans are working. I'm technically working. Working on getting these darn cables in this thing. I have a New Year's Eve party to go to tonight. I better finish this before then. I still got to pick up meats and cheeses. You're so close. Let's see if I can remember the proper cable layout this time. I always get one of the thermistors in the wrong spot and one of the something else in the wrong spot because I never look at the handy-dandy guide that comes with the printer. All right, that is a nice cable wrapping. I did no work to do that. And give it a twist. So that way it always sits up. What? Silver Prusa mint? Okay. Oh yeah, I will have a whole bunch of images to show off once this thing is all set and done. So that is not going to be any concern. Chris will make sure there's plenty of goodness to review. What is this motor? That's the extruder motor. Okay, cables. This one. Need to install a Phoenix connector. Let's steal one from here. We'll find out if this thing is. Oh boy, where's my toolkit? And the screwdriver is not in the toolkit. Ah, there it is. Come here, little flathead guy. There we go. Let's find that cap I just dropped. 4214. What's 4214? Oh, wait. That's Josh. Hey, look at that. I got the Phoenix connector off. Always the worst part. All right, get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, that one's in. Why don't you want to go in? Huh, friend? There. And let's wire this thing. So either core that moves this way. I like to do a little bit of cable management in here. Can't have them all willy-nilly. Okay, one heater core. Getting plugged in. Voila. One extruder wire. Hey, what's up, Mark? All right, we can do this. It's always the hardest one to get in there. I don't know why. But it is. Looks like it's in there. There we go. And pin to probe. I know where that goes. And this goes here, bottom. And that. Yeah. Correct? Correct. Now here's the ones that always confuse me. Fans. Thermistor. Okay, thermistor goes on the right. Okay. And then this is the one I always forget. Right fan. Right fan. And this one. And then this one. Okay, I'm going to leave that open. I'm going to take a look if I got the fans correct and the motor the correct direction. So, power plug. Power switch. So far, so good. So, let's go to the temperature settings and check the fan. See if I got the fans in the right ports. So fan speed, we'll set that to 100 and see which one turns on. Yes, correct one turned on. Woo! I'm so happy. Turn that down. And then we need to heat it up anyway. So let's heat this nozzle up to nozzle changing temperature. I wish it was a fast spin. Yeah, there's no smoke yet. We're doing good. Nothing's on fire. 275. All right. Once it gets to 275, I can set the nozzle and we'll be good to go. Yeah. The only thing I can ever remember is where those fans and which thermistors go where. Everything else is normal. But slowly I'll know exactly which one goes where. And even though I set it to 275, it's not heating up. Yep, still ice cold. Okay. Cool down. What didn't I do correctly there? Thermistor's correct. Thermistor's reading temp. Oh. Well, that's not going to help. I forgot I only loosely tightened those in. I didn't tighten the connector all the way down. Look at me being in a rush. So let's unscrew this a little bit. So you guys should have told me to double check my work. There we go. Yeah, both sides were loose. Loosey-goosey. Yep, that's not going anywhere now. Why isn't that heating up? Well, because you're a dummy head. Oh, someone said turn it off. That's silly. The video only gets good if something happens to me. Okay, now it should work. And settings. We're going to go to that temperature again, and we're going to set that back to 275 so we can set our nozzle. There needs to be like a faster speed for this. It'd be great. And set. And settings and main. Info screen. Yep, now the temperature's rising. Hey. Okay. Turning towards me. Yep. Hot and cooling fan turned on. Tightening. So eventually it would throw an error because it never reached temperature. And I think that timeout is like 30 seconds. So I never let it get there. And it'll only throw me an error if the thermistor is not reading a certain amount. So there wouldn't be an error unless I let it go for 30 seconds, which I didn't. So in case you're wondering, someone asked a good question about the thermal protection. And I didn't give it time to kick in. All right. This one fit. Nope, that's my small one. Where is my regular sized? The smell of a fresh, hot and installed. No, I just had, oh, there it is. Okay. get that quarter turn back. Boom. Good to go. Preheat, cool down. We have a fresh sock to put on, and then we got to attach the SLS printed thingy there. There's thanks, David. I'm glad for the confidence in me maybe dying. And of course, I'm going to do this hot because this is how I do things. And there we go. And let's loosen this. So I can attach that fan shroud. Oh no! Fancy fan shroud. Super fancy fan shroud. I dig it. Let me just get that screw back in there. Right, or not screw, this hex. Of course, while everything's hot, you know, that's the way I do it. You guys have been waiting so patiently with me. No, stop trying to fall out. Yeah, it's definitely not any, you don't have to do a lot of strength to get it while it's still hot, which is a perk. So we're going to do fancy technique here. Getting this hex in there. Fits so nicely. And that goes here. And done. Look at that. Nozzle height's perfect. Yes, a spanner would also be very good. Okay, and then we need to put the cover on. I like they've already placed a lot of these screws where they need to go. And they're black. Yeah, if you're using just the aluminum block, most of the time that's fine. With the copper block, oh boy, it's a pain. All right. That fits great again, too. Everything just fits. Tighten that down. All right, we did it. Oh, I forgot to check the direction of the motor. I got to turn that back up to heat. Must set you back to some temperature. Settings, temperature, nozzle 190. $195. I have some silverish filament down here. I'm going to look for an extruder cover that has the reverse Bowden on it that uses the stock Prusa thing. And then I can just use what I have right there and I don't have to do anything fancy. Should be a box. Old parts, old printers that I had. I usually don't throw any printed parts away. Oh. Here's a spool holder. It goes on the frame. Who remembers these bad boys? Wait, it goes this way, right? See, I don't even remember these bad boys. Ugh. And I got some silvery filament to show off the layer lines. Nice and pretty like. Cell phone? What did I move from? Oh, that's in this pocket. Oh, those are two rights. I need a left. So I never throw anything away. But you should organize them and not have them in boxes hiding off camera. Filament spool holder. These boxes. Let's see what I got. Nope. 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 I have a rep box, which would work if I could carry it above the printer. And so close to printing something, I just need to find a spool holder that goes on a frame. All because I didn't print the thing that does the stuff. Nope, nope. All right, we're just gonna run it the old-fashioned way and hold it. I don't use it with the stiffer nylon holder, so give me 1 second. I'll check to make sure the motor axis is correct. We got some printed solid daily silver. It's the last of my silver filament that's not being used. Oh, dogs are going crazy again. Why are they going crazy? Nope. Okay, let's just check this. We won't do load. We'll go settings, move axis, move not the axis, move the E. Nope, it's backwards. So give me a quick second. I got to run up and hand somebody something. Maybe the voice will work from that distance. I can't tell because I can't hear anything. All right. Gonna flip one more cable. Am I back? Is the audio still there? Oh yeah, I'm still talking. What are you humans talking about over there? Okay, so now I do need to turn this off. And as I drop everything, I need to flip the motor cable around. And then I'll be done. Just human stuff. Come on. It's always the hardest one to get out. So could you hear me? Could you hear me talk to Frank? Frank's borrowing a camera. He's a videographer. He needed extra camera for his oh no. Nope, you couldn't hear that. Well, good. Glad no one got to hear me talk to Frank. Okay, now the extruder motor is the correct orientation. Well, the wiring is in the correct orientation. So they don't have it capable of flipping around if necessary. Wires are good, closing up the box. Don't think I'll have to go back in there again. All right. All right, closed up. Snip this little wire here because that's going to be annoying. Throw that away. It's nice having a garbage can nearby. Turn the printer back on. Spin it this way. Hey, it says stuff. Hey, let's get that temperature back to 195 and turn that gear. And if it turns correctly, then I can load the filament in there. 195. And let's clear some space, because I'm going to let this print. Let it do its thing. I should have a 50 millimeter or 40 millimeter cube I can print to be a nice first print to see how well the layer lines go down. See how smooth that all is. Clear off the desk. We can throw this old wrap away. Yeah, Veco did a great job on his design, and this uses the Veco X-axis, so the Zerbo X-axis and the Zerbo carriage. What a fancy Bondtech extruder. All right, almost done. Throw away this unnecessary stuff away. My area isn't all poopy. All right. And settings, and move axis, and move the extruder. These are not the turning. The pins are wrong? The sticker? Delay. Okay. Uh-oh. Problem in space. My wiring is set for my other motor. let's see here, preheat PLA, and okay. And where's that? Where's this guy? So I need to do a different pin out here. Repeat, PLA, load. Yep. Okay, so I need to remember the wires for this. So we need to do some wire magic. So the wires are green, blue, black, red. What are they on this end? So the reasoning, so 3D Printing Lab was asking the reasoning behind Bondtech and the community thing. So there isn't an official Bondtech extruder for the Mark III. And there's some, there was a pretty decent one done by the community. So when I just took off of here, this one, so the very first one that I tried, there was another one before it that didn't have the filament sensor. And let's see here. My wires there are green, blue. So I need to flip the red and the green. And this should work. And should be red, blue as a pair and green, black as a second pair. Yep. That is correct. Red, blue, green, black. I gotta switch these pairs. And then there was so we didn't have an official BMG extruder mod. We did have a nice community one that worked. And then there were like really nice ones starting to be added. And they all kind of used the BMG, and there was eventually one that had the BMG built in. And Bondtech saw that, and they started working on one. They invited, I think Olaf was the first one to talk to Martin from Bondtech. And it's always fun changing these wires after the fact. So Martin from Bondtech worked with a bunch of community members, so myself, Greg, Vecco, bunches of other humans that were in the chat, Josh from Discord, so Vertigo, Matt from Matt's Hub. A bunch of the Prusa community was in this chat working with Martin and his designer, and I can't remember his name, so I apologize, because again, name's horrible. Martin I remember because I probably mentioned him the most. Plus, he might even be here watching. Okay, got those folded down. No, I'm just going to break these off. This will be easier. Break these tabs so I can harvest them from a fresh one. Because I'm not going to redo the wiring harness. Just not going to do it. Okay. So yeah, the community came together to make that magic happen. Because one, with 3-to-1 gearing, you get far more resolution. It allows for a much lighter extruder. It allows for, which again, the lighter extruder definitely reduces a lot of the artifacting in the X direction. And a nimble extruder definitely can be used faster. But the whole point of the community was to be able to put some of the best tech from the community together. And I gotta harvest another cable somewhere. Where are my spare motor cables So yeah, we harvested all the best technology that was put into all these other community mods into one extruder. So that way you get the best of all the worlds. Plus you can use whatever motor or whatever x-axis you want, or any printer design. So if you have Zerabo, you can pop this on a Zerabo. If you have what is that thing called? You have the Bear, you can use that. You have other extruders you can use, or other setups you can use that. So even with stock. Where are my spare motor cables? Wait. I think I see them. As I drop stuff. Yep, there they are. I can harvest from you. Come here, you. So all in all, this is just a culmination of all the best tech from all the different extruders and setups used for all the different Prusa mods, which there are a lot of. There's a lot of really good Prusa mods. So let's hide these pins and then steal this connector. All right, I got 3 out. Let's get that 4th one out. Once I get this wired in, I'll be able to communicate better. All right. So we need the pairs of green, blue, black. No, green, black, red, blue. Let me go back to that. Yep, green, black, red, blue. And that goes like this. So blue goes here. Click. Red goes here. Click. And then black. And then green. And that goes here. And then we gotta turn it off and turn it back on again. And then we gotta preheat again. Preheat. Oh, main. Settings. Temperature. Nozzle to 190. I guess I did it to 180 now. I could do 180, but we'll get to 190 because I can load it from there. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat while that heats up. Yeah, definitely the lighter weight and 3-to-1 gearing is going to be your biggest benefits, and in general, that's just going to help with print quality, especially at lower layer heights. You'll see a little bit of benefit at like 0.2 and 0.25 and higher, but the biggest benefits are going to be at smaller layer heights when you really need precision to print those smaller layer heights. Yeah, and then the Moon's motors, as Rotsky's pointed out, and I've been reading the Discord and watching people in the Discord chat do all the motor. They've been doing tests to see how good the sine graph, the sine graph is on the motor. And the Moon's motors just out of the bat are better. The original LDOs weren't that good. The person doing the testing doesn't have the new LDO steppers, which I found to be just as good printing. So, but again, to improve more print quality and get better print quality, Bondtech was the next thing. But it doesn't require Moons. But the other printer that I did all the testing on already had a Moons motor on it. So I wanted to keep the motor and the extruder set up the same. The hot end I redid because I didn't like, I just like to always have a fresh hot end. That way it's not jams from old hot end and stuff messing with things. So move axis, move extruder. Hey, it works. Yeah, and LDO is constantly working with new tech and things. So they've made smaller, lighter 0.9 degree steppers that are more powerful. So we'll see a lot of cool stuff. So let's load. It's loading. This is good. Yay! We've got extrusion. Yes. Get out of there. All right. And you just need to grab a few things and start printing something. Oh, I do need to do calibration. So I think to save this video, I am going to take a break, print my proper extruder top so I can have my reverse Bowden set up, set the printer back here, get files sliced for it, and get it printing. So I'm going to come back with use case videos and then answer questions now that I'm done building it, and everything should work. And I need to do calibrations on it, so I don't want everyone to sit here and stare at me as this thing is calibrating and doing that stuff. So I already did enough tomfoolery. So I already have black PTG on the bear. So I will slice a proper doohickey. I'm going to get some food because I haven't eaten yet. And then while I'm eating and everything, I can calibrate this bad boy. Excuse me. I can calibrate it and then get the first prints going. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to kill this video, end this video. Thank you for watching me put it together. And I'll be back in 30 to 40 minutes to after this thing's done calibrated and set, and I got first layer set and all that fun stuff. So stay tuned. Come back at 1:30 Central Time. So stay out of trouble, humans. We'll see you soon. Yeah, definitely a sandwich. Don't have time to cook me a full fancy meal. Preheat. Oh, main. I need to unload. Make sure the unload works. Okay, unload works, and I got all the gunk out of there. Nice. All right. See everyone soon.